It's recording, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought I'd forgot. Right. If you were stuck on a desert island, would you rather have a golf cart and a flat mobile phone, or I'm reading it upside down, or a surfboard and a toothbrush?
I don't know, the golf cart sounds really fun, providing it goes. But like that's going to run out, whereas a toothbrush, I just really need a toothbrush. Like every so often when you eat something that's terrible and your teeth feel like really scuzzy, like that's awful.
I
Like,
can't imagine you be eating lots of nice stuff on a desert island either.
yeah, just the ability to like just, yeah.
But you see, we had this with the youth last night. We was discussing this one. What about toothpaste? What would you do?
Don't know. Guess, you've got nothing else on desert island, just brushing your teeth with salt water sounds like a fun pastime.
I know what I'll do. I'll kill some time. So that would mean you get a surfboard as well.
Yeah.
Could be
Yeah.
versatile.
I can't surf, but I'd be definitely, there's something to do,
You could escape on the surfboard.
What would you take out of those options?
I think I'd be the same, because for me, although a golf cart sounds like a great idea, what if you're on sand? It might not go.
Yeah.
And well, I suppose it might on sand, but surely the battery could run out.
Yeah, there's going to be a point when that stops working.
Yeah, and a flat mobile phone, it would just be like a kick in the teeth, wouldn't it? Like, you've got this mobile phone, but you can't use it.
I can just stick it standing up in the sand and make a sundial out of it. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, you could. Oh, that's true. Because then you
do that with a surfboard, though.
Yeah, true. Surfboard's more versatile, I feel. I think we're in agreement on that one. So, Tim, tell us a bit about you.
My name's Tim. I'm here. Yep. I'm a bit of a geek. I like geeky things. So, maybe spend more time than I should do watching TV and clearly making film references. They're coming out today. That works out quite well.
Always good. That's always fun by me.
What have we got so far? The Bodyguard and
Passed Away. Tom Hanks.
Away.
Yeah.
These are just films that we've watched in lockdown, to be fair. So they are fresh in my head because they've been on some kind of on-demand TV recently. Yeah, I grew up somewhere on the other side of Essex, like where Essex and London meet each other, kind of Hornchurch, Upminster, Romford, that area. That's where my school, some work has been.
And how do you feel that this new Curacy will be like a desert island situation? Do you see what I did there?
I did. I wonder how insulting it is to the new Curacy, but sure, let's go with that. I'm hoping it won't be like a desert island because there'll be other people there.
Yeah, you're not on your own. Yeah, you're not just left in Alsford on your own or Elmstead or something. No, like what? Right, that came out very wrong. What I was well chuffed with myself though, because I felt like I'd linked it, as you could see my reaction. However,
so hang on, wait, you're just going to put me in the old, like the ruined church that's just like south of Alsford, alone with a harp, a fire extinguisher, a deck of cards, and the other things I picked. Just there we go. Is it?
Curacy. Sorted. Ministry experience. How it was meant to come out was, if you were to have 2 items to survive a Curacy, what would that be? That was literally what was going through my head, but for some reason what came out was, how does a Curacy compare to it? To be fair, it can feel quite lonely, I'm sure. Sometimes ministry is a lonely job sometimes.
Yeah.
But what 2 objects do you think you would require?
Right, the sensible one, absolutely a Bible.
Okay.
I absolutely love God's word, and I think it's really important, and God's spoken to me so many times through it. And even on a desert island, that's a good use of time, right? Right. Second item, I think I would have to pick my mobile phone, because it's a device with which I can access all the world's information, and for some reason I'll probably use it to have arguments with strangers on the internet instead. Yeah. Although, actually having contact with people would be really helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose at the moment it does feel a bit like a desert island experience in a way, because you're kind of like not doing what you would normally do in a curacy, like, because you can't do anything in person, so you're kind of constantly just seeing people on screens.
Yeah. It's weird, like this lockdown's gone on for a while, and it's not just here, there's other things in my life as well where I now only know these people in 2 dimensions.
Yeah, that's really weird. Do you like another set of objects?
Yeah, let's go for it.
A hairbrush and a deck of playing cards,
Right.
or a pogo stick and a swimsuit?
Wait, what's with the deck of cards?
A hairbrush.
If this is a Tom Hanks situation.
Yeah, like Castaway with your volleyball. Or Wilson, whoever it is.
Yeah, except for it's going to be the pogo stick, I'll go with the other option. I feel like the pogo stick, putting a little face on a pogo stick's not going to look fun, is it? To talk to. Let's go with the deck of cards and the thing I can't remember.
Well, you could also a hairbrush, yeah. I mean, you could use the pogo stick to jump high and get bananas.
Yeah.
Or coconuts.
See, I'm immediately like, if I took a pogo stick apart, what useful things are there?
The spring.
What do I do this now? Could you use the pogo stick to fire coconuts and then get other food?
Yeah, like fire coconuts at stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pogo stick. We'll take the pogo stick.
We'll have that. Pogo stick and a swimsuit.
Rubbish. Yeah. That'd be helpful.
I mean, although you could play solitaire with your deck of playing cards, it just feels a little bit like it's a bit naff.
Yeah. I like solitaire on the computer. I've never really got into doing it physically. It just takes so long to. Yeah.
Do you remember when that was the only thing you could that was on the computer? Like the free game was solitaire.
When I was 16, I did work experience in Ford's pilot plant in Aveley, and I played a lot of solitaire for that week. That was my my introduction to the world of work.
Here's some other options: a hammock and a change of underwear.
That's good. This is already really good. At least you can wear pants whilst washing your old pants. At no point, yeah. I've already got a swimsuit from this, so yeah.
True.
Right. The hammock's pretty good though. What could be better than a hammock?
A plane home.
A plane home.
A plane home. Plane.
Oh yeah. That would be
what
awesome.
Did you
Is that
think
what?
I said?
Like a house, but a really plain one.
A plane home. Yeah. Just a
that'd be helpful. All in, yeah.
No fancy ornaments or anything, just a plain home.
No.
So is a hammock? Huh?
I'm assuming the plane home is not the other option.
No. The other option is a whistle and a karaoke machine.
I don't think anyone wants me to have a karaoke machine, especially just me. I mean, if there is other wildlife in that island, they're going to leave very quickly.
I was going to say, there's no other humans to hear, though.
Yeah, I just imagining turtles rocking up on the beach being like, we come here every year. Nope, not this year. Everyone back in the ocean.
Right. A harp, like a.
Mm-hmm.
You like that? That was good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And a fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
Or a roll of toilet paper and a knife.
The harp and the fire extinguisher. The
Going with
bodyguard
that
was on the
knife.
other day, and I think he uses a fire extinguisher to get people away from him. So, you know, maybe that'll work on tigers or something.
Who uses that?
The film The Bodyguard. That
Oh,
was
I
on the other
yeah,
day. He
yeah.
uses a fire extinguisher to get people away from the person he's bodyguarding, I guess. Yeah, get through a crowd. But, you know, maybe that could work as a defense against tigers or whatever other animals there may be that I'm scared of on this island.
Yeah, but what about when it runs out?
Yeah, it's one use only, but you know, so
But
is
then
the
you've got a big canister.
yeah. And the harp, like a knife is really helpful, but I'm imagining a small knife, whereas harp string, kind of like a cheese wire, that could work. And
That's
also, as a harp, you could just push a whole block of cheese through it and it's all sliced perfectly.
And a fire extinguisher, I feel like you could do some damage with that if you when it's finished with, or even when it's not, it can be a weapon when you can fire it. But also, I mean, no one wants to take a donk on the head from a fire extinguisher, do they? So
No.
I feel like it could be pretty lethal.
Or wait, if you're trying to trap wild animals, you could just drop a harp on them.
What, like as in if something was under a tree?
Yeah, like initially I was thinking you could use the strings to make a net, but it's basically already a net kind of, isn't it? You just got to drop a harp on them, just sideways.
Yes, and it will catch them.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, not being funny, but you ain't getting out from under a freestanding harp. That lands on you. I think the harp and the fire extinguisher wins that one.
Yeah.
I'm sold.
Brilliant.
We resolved that one. But how are you surviving in lockdown?
All right, I've been watching way too much TV, but doing a lot of good cooking.
Yeah, good food.
Yeah, mentioned before, doing more cooking from scratch than I normally do.
Yeah.
Don't need to just open a jar of sauce when you've now got a bit more time and you're not commuting somewhere to be able to, I don't know, chop an onion and start from scratch.
Yeah, it's quite nice. It tastes so much different as well, and it feels so much healthier.
Yeah.
I do feel like lockdown, although it's had some horrible things as well, obviously, and it's a horrible reason why we've had to be in lockdown, but it's definitely made us slow down and forced us to think about what our priorities are.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. But it's sad that it took such a thing to happen for that to happen. But have you got anything that you are really passionate about in your ministry? Like any areas that you're like, this is something I really feel God's calling me to? I know in ordained ministry, it's, you know, encompasses a lot of things, but is there any areas that you're like, I really love this bit, or this is something that I feel I can get my teeth stuck into?
I think there's just been this massive growing conviction with me around calling. And so lots of people like to use the word calling for, oh, you've been called to the ministry, and you know, you get to wear a doctor and you get to be a priest or something like that. Whereas I don't think God really calls people in completely formal and official ways often. Certainly Jesus doesn't seem to do that very much in the Bible. But I think God calls people to more than just being the clergy of the Church of England. Like I think God calls people to be who he's made them to be. But like the next stage is actually, there's just certain things that God calls people to that are just principles, whether it's like hospitality or whether it's just kindness, that it doesn't really matter where you are or what you're doing, that God is really often speaks to someone and say, actually, this is really what I want you to focus on right now. Or I'm calling you to have, you know, make this a theme for your life, and trying to discover those things and encourage those things in people.
So Tim, what's your favourite food?
Probably pizza. I mean, every so often it stops being pizza because frozen oven pizzas can only get so good, and sometimes they're terrible. And you just
Yeah.
go, oh, it's just because it's in the freezer and it's easy. But really good pizza is really, really good.
I'm not a fan, and this could be really controversial. I am not a fan of the frozen chip.
No,
Is that just me?
no, we've got an air fryer, which
Ooh,
really is a convection oven, and that does good chips. But I've never actually bothered to do like frozen chips because just a tray of mush.
yeah, they just never come out crispy.
Yeah.
They're always, ugh, yeah, they're just not. I mean, they're not. Yeah, nah.
Yeah.
What are you most looking forward to about Curacy with us?
I want to get to know people, see where people are at, and what they're excited by, and what they're, you know, motivated with, and how God's speaking to them. Yeah, it'd be really good just to encounter God with a whole bunch of different people, and in the different ways. Like, I absolutely get that there's like 3 churches that are just one like 10-penny villages benefice thing, and it seems like that you guys are doing really well together, with all the lockdown restrictions with the one service thing. But also I get that there are differences in the different ways the different churches are, and I kind of want to learn, and I want to understand a little bit of why everybody does it the way they do, and actually what makes it brilliant. Like, I want to learn that stuff from you guys. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's a team effort. I think that's what I love about this benefice, because I grew up in very like more contemporary church and in the free church, so it was like a URC, and my only experience of the Anglican church, apart from the occasional like service here and there, or like someone we knew, a friend or something, going to a service with them, but my only experience of the Church of England that was my own was at Holy Trinity Brompton, and that's obviously a completely different like side to the Anglican church, in the sense of it's very contemporary most of the time, or at least the services I was part of were, and yeah, it was as a student, it was a brilliant place to be, because it was like fantastic for student-based work, and the style of worship and just the stuff that they had for you to get involved in was brilliant. But obviously it didn't match up with what my sort of the stereotypical Anglican stuff was, and so coming to this job, yeah, it was a real eye-opener for me, because I feel blessed in this benefice that I've been able to see 3 completely different styles of doing church in quite close proximity with each other.
Yeah.
Really
so I grew up in a very like, I guess, low church, kind of contemporary, maybe not that contemporary, depended on how it did it, way of doing church. So it was kind of, brilliant, but at the same time there was definitely a well, those people that do things in very traditional ways, they're wrong. That was maybe not said, but the expectation was there. And then whilst I was training, I did a placement for a month at Bristol Cathedral, which is very, very traditional. And it was absolutely brilliant. And it was brilliant because I think one of the things that I picked up previously was the idea that people who do the much more traditional thing, they sort of like to say that it's very religious, and they don't know why they're doing what they're doing and these sort of things. But whilst I was in Bristol Cathedral, like, the people were on hand and up for the questions and loved them, of like, well, why do you do that, and how do you do that, and all of that stuff. And they had reasons, and they had really good reasons, and it's just really, really good way of expressing worship to God. And there's a lot of stuff that I think we sort of missed out on by being it was a deliberately low church. And sometimes things need to be reimagined so that they're more relevant. I get that. but often they're not, and people either decide we're either doing this very traditional thing or we're not doing it. And sometimes I think the not doing it option, you've kind of missed the point.
Yeah.
I think I got to sit in this little marble alcove in a Corpus Christi service, which is like second Easter, very traditional, swinging this enormous incense thing close to me, and just had this really, really amazing encounter with God, exactly where I expected it to be. This is just lots of ritual that might have some meaning behind it, but we don't really know. And actually, I really encountered God sitting in this little marble alcove, and feeling the presence of God in the middle of this very, very traditional service. And so maybe that's something I want to get really excited about, is to encounter God in the middle of just different ways of doing church that mean so much for so many people. And finding that God is there and alive and speaking to people. So
we're really excited about having you come and do this part of your curacy with us. And we are hopefully at some point in the near future going to be able to actually talk in person, and you can meet people face to face rather than on a screen.
Yeah,
it'd be nice. But it's been really good to chat and to get to know you a bit. But we're really looking forward to getting to know you and Billy, and to having you work with us. It'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look forward to it.
Yes, and you. Take care, Tim.
You too.